about today about one of my favorite characters, Percival. The dude is just such a powerhouse. The guy deals just so much damage, and the one amazing thing about this character, it is that he's a very friendly, beginner-friendly character. Remember that every character has a skeleton, and this skeleton is going to drive at the end of the day how is it that you are going to play, what is it that you need to be paying attention to, the combos that you have to be performing and what have you. Thankfully enough, Percival, it's not going to be like that difficult to use. As a matter of fact, everything about him, it's just going to be very, very, very basic. So yeah, there's that. That being said, though, we'll talk about the skeleton, we'll talk about the weapons that you should be using, we'll talk about the sigils and what is it that you would want to have with this character from the end game. But let's talk about the skeleton and let me show you what is it that you should be doing with this character. Like I said, you have a very, very basic combo. There's one thing special about each character, and the special thing about Percival is that he has like the the special attack. Let's just refer to this thing to like the special attack. The special attack is the Y or triangle, depending on what kind of controller, PC, PlayStation, what have you that you are using. That's the special attack. You can hold it, and then you charge that thing up to 2 times. That is going to be your bread and butter. That is going to be your main means of damage, although it takes quite a bit to charge this thing. There's ways to shorten that up. If you complete a basic regular attack combo all the way towards, you will notice that Percival's blade gets in flames. That's when you're going to charge your special attack, and it is going to be insanely faster. Remember that that's the main combo that you want to be doing. You don't have to be worrying about anything else, just basic and basic and basic and basic, and then finally the special attack. You hold the special attack, that's going to be faster, alright? So that's nice. But then also, after you perform a certain specific weapon skill, you're also going to charge faster. So meaning your cooldowns, you're always going to be using your cooldowns to charge that thing faster. Also, I'm not going to mention this thing on the sigils because that's an inherent thing. You should be looking for the character special sigils, but one of the character special sigils for Percival is that if you perfect block, you immediately get a special attack that's really, it charges really fast. After you perform a link attack, immediately after the link attack, you should use your special attack because it is going to charge faster. So that is how you want to be using this character. But remember that also you have hyper armor while you are charging the special attack. So if you not want to be using your regular combo and you just want to be using spamming and spamming and spamming, which I don't advise that much because you're negating a little bit of how fast does the special attack charges by using the regular combo. But hey, be my guest. If you want to be spamming this thing, see it like the hammer from Monster Hunter. So that is like basically the skeleton of Percival. So now let's talk about the weapon skills. The weapon skills are very interesting. I'm not going to cover every single little nitpicky right here for you. I just want to show you or tell you what is it that you should be doing. I'm not going to stop in them that much as per my recommendations of the things that I should like to use me personally in my character builds. That is why I have Macked, Roger Wearable, Furen Griff, this thing, Seal. Very specific reasons for that, but they cover very specific fronts. Like for example, Macked. Macked, it's a traversal kind of skill. It deals quite a bit of damage, it lunges forward, so it makes you close the distance, and also has Stout Heart, which is hyper armor. Always nice. Remember, after using this thing, the special attack is going to be charged almost immediately because it charges faster after using this special skill. And then we have the Rotor Werebell, which deals quite a bit of damage because it lingers, so this is specifically useful for bosses that are on prone or knockdown scenarios. It deals quite a bit of damage, and the same thing applies to special attack after this one. But my favorite damage dealing one is going to be for a Griff. It looks amazing, it has amazing AoE, and it just uses like the special attack charges faster. But if you don't want to be using that, he also has like the Royal Authority, which is more of an AoE, so if you're playing on AoE, this is ideal as well. And also you have the buffs. You have the 20% extra attack boost, you have the, well, this is another launch, which applies a debuff for burning instead of the stout heart that you would otherwise have. And then you have this one that gives you supplementary damage. I cannot stress enough how important it is for this to have you on you. I wouldn't advise for this one that much, because at the end of the day, once you reach the damage cap with your base builds, it's not going to matter that much. You can use this as you're leveling up. But this one, on the other hand, supplementary damage, is always going to be damage beyond the damage cap that you have in the game. So this is very, very useful. Also, Exile, this is going to cause Petrify onto the enemies, which is also amazing because the defense is going to be lowered about that. So yeah, this is a very, very friendly support kind of skill, and that is basically like the rundown of the skills that you should be having with this character. Weapons. This is a very subjective conversation, I'd say. Just basically going to say the very same thing that I have already said on my weapons guide video. And as a matter of fact, if that's redundant, then I advise for you to go in that. The thing is that it varies, you know, it's kind of a subjective conversation. If we go over to the weapons, it is going to be all dependent on the kind of weapons that we have. Like, for example, I'd say that a very good choice is the Ascension weapon. But the thing is that me personally, I do have this bias. I do not think that it is worth investing time into the Ascension weapons, because at the end of the day, your ultimate goal should be aiming for the terrible weapons. I'm not saying by all means that the Ascension weapon, it is not good. As a matter of fact, usually these are going to, once you uncap the cap that the weapon has, with the special upgrading of the Ascension weapons, you're going to have more sigils, you're going to have more skills, you're going to have more stuff. The thing is that it requires an insane amount of farming, weird kind of specific given most materials. So at the end of the day, you can just basically use the Stinger weapons, which are the weapons that have critical hit rate. You add a little bit of a critical hit rate to the traits that they have, you can reach just basically the damage cap of your desired character with this thing without having to farm that much. It is not really hard at all to use just a critical hit rate weapon to reach the first damage cap that you're going to suffer at the end game. So this weapon is going to allow you to just basically breeze throughout the entirety of the endgame on proud difficulty. If you want to become that huge powerhouse that at the end of the day everyone should be striving to, then be my guest. You can be farming for the terrible weapon, and you could also do not deter me from you for you using the Ascension weapon. If it's something that you really want to do, be my guest. But then again, you can just beat easily Proto-Bahamut with the regular critical hit rate weapon. This is going to allow you to reach the cap of the damage for the weapons, and then finally your ultimate goal is going to be the terrible weapons. So, sigils that you want to have with Percival. Of course, the basic ones. If you can get the meta sigils, that's something that you have to do. A mandatory thing would be to use damage cap. To raise this thing to the maximum, like there is no question about that. So that being said, the extra things that I advise for you to use, it's always at least one potion hoarder, 5, a legendary one. You just need one to max out the entirety of that character, the potion hoarder, and then either guts or revive, depending on how good do you feel, how okay do you feel that you are doing with just your potion hoarder. If you do not want to stack guts or auto revive, then you don't have to. But the other sigils are a little bit of a, let's say, subjective as well. You can be using critical hit rate or critical damage if you're using the Stinger, but once you reach the terrible weapon, that it is not going to be that much needed anymore. And then, that being said, the ultimate thing for reaching damage, the highest amount of damage for for Percival, is going to be Quick Charge. The Quick Charge sigils are going to allow you to charge your bread and butter, which is your special attack, which is the one that is going to be dealing the most damage out of the bunch faster, and it's also going to increase the damage of it, so that's nice. And then we have the charge attack, which boosts the powers of your charge attacks, so that's always nice as well. And then we have lucky charge, which is going to boost the critical hit of charge attacks. remember that 50% of the time you are going to be using charge attacks. So those are skills or sigils that Percival really benefits the most. And like I said, the charge attacks for Percival, even for a non-terrible weapon build, one build that has just reached the basic damage cap of your Percival, that is going to be 350 to 400k damage every time that you charge your heavy attack. And since, like I said, 50% of the time you must be using your charge attack, meaning that you're going to be dealing a filthy amounts of damage by stacking those sigils. Anyways, that's everything for Percival. You like the content, you like the video, liking the video is super appreciated. No one told you today you're a gorgeous, beautiful person. You're indeed gorgeous and beautiful person. I'll be seeing you damn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Have a lovely day, and goodbye.